Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is B. Douglas, and I'm a writer. And being that this is actually the first video on my Authortube, I wanted to go ahead and take part in the Newbie Author Tag. So let's get started. The very first question, one of the most basic questions most people ask, is who are you? Who am I? Again, my name is B. Douglas. I am a writer. I am 26 years old. I live in a small town in Northeast Ohio. Not much really happens here. The most bipolar thing is the weather. You can go from raining to snow to pretty much laying in your bathing suit in 3 days' time, sometimes one. So as you can probably already tell, I love to read. I've been an avid reader ever since I was a child, and my collection has grown from 10, maybe 15 books, and now I'm hitting about 800. I'd have to get back to you guys on the actual number. I have to update my Goodreads because I got a big pile of books from half-price books that I haven't put away. Yeah. Now, question number 2 is, why did I start writing? Again, I read a lot, and I wanted to be able to walk into Barnes & Noble or Books A Million one day and see my name next to some of my favorite authors on the bookshelves. Now, I love reading, and I use it as an escape when I'm stressed, when I just need a break. And I wanted to be able to help readers one day, and maybe they'll end up using my books as an escape as well. Question number 3. When did I start writing? And to be honest with you, I dabbled a little bit in my high school years. I started a vampire book, actually, based on my Twilight little phase there. I think everybody had one. If not, this might be a little bit awkward then. But then I started, after college, I started writing this contemporary romance, and I didn't really get where I wanted it to be, but I do plan on bringing it back to life after I get a little bit more settled in my writing career, because it is a story I want to tell and I feel like needs to be told. And as far as my writing career, my current writing career, I didn't start writing again until about this past August. It's May right now, so it's a little bit less than a year, but I decided I wanted to set everything down and write because it's helped me, and it's just a little gateway for me. I want to be able to express my feelings, my opinions, as well as share my stories with the rest of the world. We're going on to question number 4, and that is, where do I write? Until recently, I took up space on my couch. There's probably a big butt print from where I would curl up with my laptop. And I used to take over this Starbucks table in the corner. It was a little booth, and I would sit there for hours, day after day, and surprisingly, I didn't get distracted by the constant flow of customers, and it helped. I put my headphones in, and I just wrote. But actually, in January, my boyfriend and I bought the house that I'm in right now, and we moved in March. So this where I write moment is fairly new. But this here is my office library. It's a place where I can keep all of my books together, as well as sit down and keep the writing vibe going. Alright, now as you have been listening to me babble quite a bit, you're probably wondering now, what do I write? Well, this right here is my book baby. This is A Hollow Cry. It is a paranormal romance. It centers around banshees and grim reapers, and it does actually have a different twist on death. Basically meaning that there is a world past death. You don't just die. There's further things that go along to it. Different hands that kind of make a claim to your soul when you do pass. Now, when I decided to get into my writing career, my first book I wanted to write was something that I was having a hard time with, which is death. And that is what kicked everything off. With A Hollow Cry, as well as the second one, which is A Tainted Light, currently in the process of being edited, it tells about life in between death. where you think that you might die, but there's other different people and aspects that have a play on your soul. I am branching off for my third and fourth book. It's not paranormal romance, and it actually has nothing to do with the Afterlife series. The first one is a young adult contemporary book, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it is a big jump when you go from paranormal to contemporary. There's no demons, there's no banshees, there's no grim reapers. It's real life stuff, and I am learning that it's a lot harder, especially when I am trying to write this book surrounded by young adult characters and with a young adult audience. I am a huge romance fan. I am also working on a new adult contemporary romance. And this is actually based on The One That Got Away, second chance kind of role. So it does give you a little bit of a happier vibe compared to what I have been writing, which can be a little bit twisted as well as a little sad. So some people need some cheering up in the world. And that's what I'm working on with this one. Alright, so as things are boiling down, I'm going to move on to the next question, which is what or who has inspired me to write? And I have 3 major ones that I want to share with you all. Now, in high school, this book, This Lullaby by Sarah Dessen, which you can see has been read several times as the book pages are starting to yellow and they are starting to rip because I've read it so many times. It's one of those books that I came across at a time that I needed, which we will learn going on that I relate to books very well. And if there is a book that I need, it gets on my top ranking list. But This Lullaby by Sarah Dessen is all about a girl who is leaving high school and she's going on to college, and she's has this goal for herself and she wants a new life, and it's all about having a strong female role, a strong female character who, yeah, she's snarky, but that's what makes the book. And it shows you that it's okay to be strong and it's okay to want what you want and be independent. This second book, and if you know me, I have recommended it to you a million times over. This is The Edge of Never by J.A. Redmersky. I found this book actually at Target. I was going through, needed to cover up, and I was like, you know what, let me just stop over by the book section because you can't go to a store and not stop at a book section. And it sounded interesting. So I picked it up, and 2 days later I started it, and that night I finished it. I cried, I yelled. It was an experience all in itself reading this book. If you have not read it, it is a coming of age of a girl named Cameron who she struggles. She's had a lot happen to her, and now she is kind of at a point in her life where she doesn't know what to do. So what does she do? She hops on a bus and goes. There is so much to be learned from this book as far as her character and the male character whose name is Andrew. They are very compatible in a way that you wouldn't think so, or they don't think so. Let me put it that way. But they share themselves with one another and you learn about them. And the feelings that they express are rather heart-wrenching and heartfelt. And again, as I said before, I needed that book. I never knew I did, but I did. Jennifer L. Armentrout has a big space on my bookshelves. And in the sense of a hollow cry, her book, Wicked, look at the cover, it's so gorgeous. But it bases about Faye with a new adult era, and the way she pieces everything together as a writer is really intriguing, because I found that I was having a hard time writing new adult with paranormal, because you don't really get that. You usually get more of just like the romancy side of it. There is a lot of young adult in the world that have paranormal or fantasy bases, but not new adult. Because new adult is not a huge genre in itself. But you know what? That's what I wanted to focus on, because it's a book that I wanted to write for an era that I wanted to read it in. And Jennifer Armentrout has helped a lot as far as inspiration. I did actually get a chance to meet her twice. It was a Polycon 2017 in Orlando, Florida, and a Polycon 2018 in Washington, D.C. And she is one of the most humble authors I have ever met, personally. And she is such a huge inspiration for me, especially with, like I said, A Hollow Cry, but also for further books down the line that I am writing. Alright guys, so last but not least, what are my goals? Having goals is very important. Whether it's cleaning your house, writing a book, or overtaking the world, you need goals. You need steps to be able to accomplish what you need to do. Well, as I said earlier, I am in the editing stages of A Tainted Light, the second book to A Hollow Cry. I am hoping to get that done and sent out and polished so I can either have it out July or August, which I will definitely keep you all updated on that. And in 2019, for the rest of the year, I want to work on writing my other two contemporary books, the young adult and the new adult, and hopefully get them published. If not, you know what, it's okay. At least I am working to write them. I would like to at least publish one of them. And if it's two, it's fantastic. We'll have cake and ice cream. But also, my big plans coming up are June. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not getting a lot done. I'm going on vacation, a much needed vacation. In August, I'm actually attending the Wander Writers Retreat for the first time up in Canada. And if you don't know what it is a retreat for writers, Wander Writers Retreat. It is created by Jesse Elliott as well as Evie Driver. We are going to write and talk and discuss and just make nice friendships and connections, which is very, very important in the writing world. Many people might not realize it, or they do, but the writing world is not that big. And it's a very scary and dangerous place. Friends are awesome. Now, I am going to post links down below, right there, where you will be able to not only get a look at A Hollow Cry, which I do offer right now through Amazon, paperback, and ebooks, but I do also offer personalized copies. Now, I will also go ahead and link my Instagram, which is where my major writing platform is at the moment, but I will definitely keep you guys connected. Thank you again for stopping by, and work hard, busy bees.